You were one of the many who received a letter asking for, is it easement, or are they asking to buy your property? What is this letter you received, and what is it asking for, and when did you receive it?
So essentially, what happened was they sent out registered mail through the post office from Summit. You had to sign it. That's their acknowledgement of receiving it. And what they were stating is that they were going to run a pipeline through your specific area of your property. And it wasn't a choice. It was pretty much they said, this is what we're going to do. And there's the meeting about what we're going to do to your property. And so attending the meeting, which many of the community members did, and there's been several of the informational meetings. I think that was mandated by the IUB that they had to conduct these meetings in order to be given their permits that they need to do this project. And essentially, we showed up with several hundred other community members in the same situation. And what essentially is what they did is they said, we're trying to do this project that's going to benefit you directly. And so their major selling point was that they were going to sell carbon-friendly ethanol to a California market, which was the first one. They said the potential for other markets, but they were going to promise a premium, which is crazy. They can't promise a premium on commodity prices. There's no way that they can do that. And so their major selling point to get the people to sign their easements were the fact that it was going to benefit you directly. And in the area, there's a lot of uses for the corn products. And one of the facts is that ethanol is one of the producers of corn usage in the area, but there's also a very large livestock contingent there as well. And so through the informational meeting, they said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to dig in your land. We're going to take 100-foot easements. And they essentially said, well, we're not going to threaten eminent domain, but eminent domain is on the table, and they kept throwing it out there. And it
How's that not
wasn't
a threat?
necessary. Yeah, it was essentially a threat. So they threatened eminent domain, and of course they had land agents right there at the meeting that they were trying to funnel you right to the land agents in order for you to sign up for their easements. And they proceeded to, after the meeting, for lack of better terms, harass. It was essentially harassment on a regular basis. That
In which
they
way?
would offer
How would they harass? Call, show up to your door?
mail, phone calls, show up at the door. I
All of
mean,
them, huh?
every one of them. Yes, they have used every tactic. Multiple phone calls in one day, appearances to the house unannounced, unwelcomed. Also threats through the written word, through the mail. Many times we received packages that were actual easement contracts, and then proceeded to have to sign. FedEx was one example that if the package was sent for or rejected or whatever, then they knew right away that you were going to receive this or reject it. And within minutes, there was phone calls saying, why did you reject our proposal to you? You're not going to get a better deal. We don't want to use eminent domain, but that's a reality that we may have to do in order to make this project feasible. And the fact that, we know how to use your land better than 5 generations of farmers know how to use your land. And so we're going to take it for our own use, and we're going to put a pipeline through there if you want it or not. So they essentially used mafia tactics to say, well, if you don't want your legs broken, you better sign up with us. But if you want your legs broken, we're going to break them, and then we're going to do what we want regardless anyway.